Okay, hello. So today I'm going to give you the opportunity to work through a lesson by yourselves. So the first thing you're going to do is listen to this recording. You've got this presentation yourself, so you can then look through it yourself and click on the various links. And you've also got some slides of your own in which I want you to do a few little tasks as we normally do. So first of all, there's a couple of videos. I'm not going to play them to you. You can play these from your own presentation, and I do warn you, the songs are a little bit annoying, so maybe wear a pair of headphones. So the big question for us today is, how do we use maps to find out where we are on the planet? Imagine that I'm in trouble. I've fallen out of my ship and my boat, and I'm floating around in the sea. And the other person in the boat needs to send a radio message to the emergency services to come and look for me. But how will that person tell the emergency services where I am? I'm in the middle of a huge, great big ocean. So we need to find a way of telling other people where we are on the planet. We can't just say, I'm in the middle of the ocean. It's not going to help them. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. Before we start thinking about that, I just want you to think about what a map is. A map is actually a flat picture of a round planet. Now that means that maps aren't 100% accurate, because it's impossible to put around the surface of a round planet flat onto a piece of paper or onto a screen. So map makers have to make some little adjustments to the world so that they can actually do that. If you don't understand what I'm talking about here, just imagine trying to peel an orange and to lay the skin of that orange out flat onto a table. It doesn't really work. And if you still don't know what I'm talking about, click on the link, and there's a guy on a video on this page who will actually show you himself trying to do that, and you'll probably get what he means. Okay, so back to how do we tell other people where we are? Well, one thing that we do is we use imaginary lines that cover the planet in a kind of a grid. And we've got two types of lines. We've got lines that go this way around the planet from sort of east to west. They're horizontal lines, and they're called lines of latitude. And we've also got lines that go from north to south around our planet, up and down lines. And those lines are called lines of longitude. So what we're going to do is we're going to work out how we can use those lines to tell somebody else exactly where we are. Lines of latitude go this way, east to west. They're horizontal lines. And the line that cuts the world in two, that goes right around the middle of the world, is called the equator. Everything above the equator is in the northern hemisphere, and everything below the equator is in the southern hemisphere. And you can see that each line is numbered. There are basically 0 up to 90. So each line of latitude is a degree. The equator is 0 degrees and 90 degrees at the North Pole and 90 degrees at the South Pole. The lines of longitude are similarly numbered. Their line of 0 degrees is called the prime meridian, or sometimes called the Greenwich meridian. And it's called that because it passes through an area of London called Greenwich. But it's 0 degrees. And from the 0 degrees prime meridian, the lines of longitude go that way, 30, 60, 90, degrees, and they go that way, 30, 60, 90 degrees, all the way round to 180. So we still haven't answered the question, how do we use these lines to provide a location? Well, what we do is we take a line of latitude going that way, we take a line of longitude going that way, and as long as we know what degree that line is and what degree this line is, where the two lines cross, we can say that is where we are. And we can describe this using something called a coordinate, and we'll come on to coordinates in the next slide. So when we give somebody an exact location using lines of latitude and longitude, we can refer to that as absolute location. It's absolutely exact. If we give somebody the correct line of latitude and the correct line of longitude, they will know exactly where we are, and it's called absolute location. So to give somebody a coordinate, we have to make sure that we give them the numbers in the right order. And the way we do that is we always give the latitude first. So we always give the line of latitude first. So for example, if I was going to give you a coordinate that was on this line, I would say you are 30 degrees north because you're above the equator. We then give the latitude. So we then give this line. So if I was here, right on this point here, my coordinate would be 30 degrees north and 30 degrees east. Okay, let's just practice a couple together. So I've got an X, a Y, and a Z. So here's my X. So my X is 60 degrees north, so I use my horizontal line, and 90 degrees east. So that's what my coordinate looks like, 60 degrees N, 90 degrees east. Let's do Y. So again, I'm on this line, 60 degrees south. This time I'm over this side of the prime meridian, or the Greenwich meridian. So I'm 90 degrees west. So 60 degrees south, 90 degrees west. And then my final one is this one. Now you notice this time I'm not actually on a line that you can see on the map. So I've had to guess this one a little bit. In real life, you would have a line between all of these, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way up to 30. But just for this demonstration, I've only put 3 lines above because the map would be too crowded else. So let's guess where I am. So I'm above 60, but I'm below 75. So I reckon I'm on about a 65 degrees north line there. And here I'm probably about 10 degrees west. So my coordinate is 65 degrees north, 10 degrees west. Okay, now this first task, this will be on your slides. So you'll have to do what we normally do. You'll have to go to your slides and play the activity to practice finding places using latitude and longitude. So it's one of those word wall games. You're going to drag and drop. You can do it again and again. So I would suggest that if you don't get the hang of it first time round, keep on doing it until you get it right. I think there's about 6 coordinates to play with. Paste the completed activity into the box here. Okay, again, this is on your slides. So what I want you to do this time is to complete this little table. So we've got an orange dot, that one, a green dot, a black dot, and a red dot. Now we've also got a purple dot. I've done that one for us. So to do the coordinate, I have said that the dot is at 30 degrees to the north, and it is 60 degrees to the east. So 30 degrees north, 60 degrees east. So let's see if you can do the rest of those and fill them in on the table on your slides. Okay, and now we have a summary, and this is as many of the summary tasks that you've done before. I want you to complete it, and once you've got the answers correct, I want you to screenshot it and paste it into this slide. And then finally today, you're going to go to Caboodle, and you are going to do the end of lesson assessment for Caboodle. I will post this into Caboodle for you. It will be assessment 1.5, I believe. I will confirm that on your slides, which assessment it is that you need to do. I think it's 1.5, but that will be on your slides. If there is still time remaining in this lesson after having done those things, you can play this practice activity, which is kind of fun. I'll just open it up for you. It's a game that requires you to find coordinates in order to find treasure. It looks a little bit sort of for little tiny kids, but actually it's pretty good, and it will help you if you're still struggling a little bit and you need some practice. It will help you to understand the it will help you to understand how to search for coordinates. I will be interested to see if anybody gets this finished. So obviously it has sound up, so you can play the game. You can drag these. So basically, you've got to look for the coordinates that the pirate guy gives you. So the first one he gives you is 0 degrees, so that's going to be 0 right up there. And he says 146 degrees west. So you've got to try to kind of guess where that would be. That would be about there. And then if you click on it, and if you're in the right place, it will give you a treasure. Okay, so that's the last thing you're going to do. So please make sure you've done everything else first. And I will see you in the next lesson.